Sometimes, as disciples of Jesus, we have to take a risk. Hello there, this is Pastor Pete Pavelic. Thank you so much for joining me for the Daily Devo. Don't forget, you can find this Daily Devo. You can connect with me, email me, find our social media links, sign up for our daily email, all kinds of good stuff over at pastorpete.org. Sometimes when you're a follower of Jesus, you have to take a risk. Some of you know that already. You live in a part of the world where it is dangerous to be a Christian. It's hard to be a Christian. It's risky to be a follower of Jesus. Many of us, however, that listen to this podcast live in a part of the world where it's not dangerous to be a follower of Jesus. You can carry a Bible around with you wherever you go. You can pray wherever you want. You're not under the threat of being arrested or persecuted or getting in trouble for following Jesus. You're just not. It's not very risky. And we forget, if we live in those kind of cultures, we forget that there are times when we have to take great risks as followers of Jesus. That's what the Lord spoke to me today when I was reading this text in Matthew chapter 27, starting in verse 57. There's a lot of other things we could say about this text, but this morning, the Lord just burdened my heart to share with you and say, sometimes you have to take a risk as a follower. Look at the risk Joseph takes. When it was evening, a rich man from Arimathea, it says, named Joseph, came, who himself also had become a disciple of Jesus. He approached Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. Then Pilate ordered that it be released. So Joseph took the body, wrapped it in clean, fine linen, and placed it in his new tomb, which he had cut into the rock. He left. After rolling a great stone against the entrance of the tomb, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were seated there facing the tomb. Jesus has just been crucified. He is an enemy of the state. He has, all the chaos of the day has just gone awry. And here Joseph is with his reputation and his authority and who he was, and he aligns himself with Jesus publicly. He goes and says, as a friend of Jesus, more importantly, he was a friend of mine. He was my disciple. He was my Messiah. I'm his disciple. I'm aligning myself with him. That was a dangerous move. That was a dangerous step for Joseph to go and say, would you release the body of Jesus to me because I care about him? All the disciples had scattered. They were nowhere to be found. But not Joseph. He took a risk. Sometimes as a disciple of Jesus, we have to take a risk. For some of us, that looks like walking across the street and telling our neighbor about Jesus, and that's a little bit risky. For some of us, that looks like going to church this weekend where we might be arrested. The level of risk and the type of risk are different for all of us. But I just want to remind everybody that it's risky to be a follower of Jesus. He is the Messiah of the world. He is the Son of God, and he has called you to be his hands and his feet. He has called us to proclaim the gospel to the ends of the earth. It's not going to be easy, and it's not always going to be safe. Sometimes as a disciple of Jesus, you've got to take a risk. And I want to encourage you, if he calls you to do that, I want to encourage you to do that. Follow Jesus wherever he may call you to go. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Until then, come over and visit me at pastorpete.org.